How's it going today, everyone? This is Sage, and we're finally back with another Market Watch. It's been about a week and a half since our last upload, and I wanted to give enough time for all of these new tin singles to brew on the market. We saw several different buyouts over the last week and a half since opening day, and we've also seen quite a few different movements here prepping us for this next post Rage of the Abyss format. Now, we all know Mulch Army Fuwalos is coming out, which is going to be a complete game changer, but it's important for us to look at other tech cards that will be necessary to compete at the highest level. Now, Perulia, everyone's familiar with it. This is a side deck card. This will still remain a side deck choice, most likely, because you can play both Mulch Armies on the same turn. Right here, you can only activate one other Mulch Army monster effect the turn you activate this effect. So you open both, going second. You can play both, and they both have this same restriction to shuffling back whatever number of cards your opponent controls plus 6. That's your hand cap size. But this is still going to be a side deck choice, while Fuwalos will mainly be in the main deck as a 2 to 3 of, probably. The Perulias are chilling about 52 plus for near mints, which is kind of where they've been this whole time. But this card is nothing compared to Fuwalos, and that's why the next card, Crossout. Crossout's seen a pretty big spike here. If we filter this by near mint, you can see the graph a little bit better. Market price is saying $38.39. However, they are bought out to about the $50 range. So, with Fuwalos being so necessary to compete at the highest level, we will likely see something similar to what the OCG sees with their Max C package. In the OCG, they play 3 Max C, 3 Ash, 1 Crossout, 2 Called By. It's a 9. And now they have the Mulch Armies too, so it's Fuwalos at 3. So we're probably going to see something pretty similar to that here in the TCG, with Fuwalos at 3, Crossout at 3, Called By at 1, Ash at 3. Now, the ratios on that will likely change a little bit, but this will be very impactful, this next format, along with Droll. Now, Droll has kind of been sitting pretty cheap. If we look at the ulti, even the ulti is sitting kind of low. It's less than $100 for light plays and near mints. Hell, less than 80 for both, which is insane that this card is this low. But the quarter century, the alt art's $17, and the OG art is sitting $23. And that just seems really cheap, especially with the Mulch Army is going to be dominating this next format. I really feel like Droll may make a big comeback. So do keep an eye on these. If you guys are looking for your max rarity Drolls, just go ahead and pick up a place out of the like either the quarter centuries. I guess you can play collector rare. God, I remember when these were expensive. Or if you guys just want like a cheap option, go ahead and pick up like these plat secrets or even the regular secrets. They're like $1.50. Droll is super accessible thanks to Rarity Collection 2, and it will likely remain pretty accessible for the near future. So there's no reason you can't have a playset or two of this sitting off to the side waiting for this to hit format. A little weird one I wanted to touch on, because I saw this pop up on a Whatnot stream last week, and I ended up purchasing it because of this chart. Now, nothing out of the ordinary is happening with Don Zalug here while we're just looking at all of the general prints. But what really gets a little bit weird is once we click into PGD, the original print, okay, you know, pretty normal. Heavy plays, light plays, unlimbs. Let's clean this. Let's go near mint first. Yeah, why is it $50 for near mint first on Don Zalug? Market price is saying 18, but we do have higher sales here. We have sales on the 26th of September here at the $28 range and the $31 range. I picked up a copy of this at, I think, 14 on Whatnot. I was very shocked that hell we didn't even meet this market price. But yeah, that was fun when I went and looked at this and saw that lowest listed was 50. This one just popped up here, so I don't know where this one came from, but that was not there here like 10 minutes ago. But yeah, this is just a classic lack of supply. It's a 21-year-old card. There's not very many near mints out there, but I just thought that was worth pointing out. It was kind of cool. The Mermail cards. Obviously, we have some Mermail Atlantean support coming here with Rage of the Abyss. And there's a lot of these cards that I think people expected to spike a lot more. And I mean, they still could post Rage of the Abyss. But the big one I wanted to touch on was Abyss Lead, which is a secret out of Cosmo Blazer. Now we have a heavy play first here at 20. But here again, near mint first. Why is near mint first $80? Market price of 13. $80 for near mint first Abyss Leads. If you guys need one, I do have one. It is in my sale binder. I will not charge you $80 for this, especially since no sales have occurred past the $22 mark. But yeah, that was another one that was a little weird. Tyrant Dragon out of the tins. This one has seen a little bit of a price spike because of the future Blue Eyes support that has to come to the TCG eventually. But the big thing to notice here is we have a current quantity on the market of 4,532. And 4,337 of those are from Gamer's Choice at the $2 range. Yeah, talk about controlling the market. Holy hell. They control literally the entire supply. So if you guys want to, I guess you can attempt to take this wall out, but I think there's a lot better ways to spend, 10 grand. Jesus. I wanted to touch on some of these tin singles because throughout the last week on Whatnot, I've been seeing these honest quarter centuries in particular go for like $4 to $5 very consistently, but they're like $1 a market. So this is just a weird little difference in markets, I guess. So TCG Player has them at $1, but people are seeing them on Whatnot and they're like, wow, I value that at $3 to $5. It's just kind of weird, how these differences in markets can really impact prices. Because the whole time I'm sitting there on Whatnot, I'm like, this is like $1 card, and it has been pretty consistently since the tin's released. But people are willing to pay $3 to $5 a piece for these. So if you guys do have, any sort of item that you want to sell, it's really important to know which markets to sell it on, which markets are worth investing into, and what your consumer base is like on each marketplace. So on TCG Player, it's going to be, people want their singles for the low. They want them quick. Whereas like Whatnot, a more casual audience is there, and they're gonna see pretty card, honest, hey, I know what that card is from, way back in the GX era, and they're gonna be like, oh, that has to be worth money, that has to be worth like $4 to $5, and they're gonna be willing to pay that. And that's just a really big difference that I've seen between the TCG player side versus the Whatnot side. Same with these Spirit of Yubel secrets. I've seen these sell for upwards of $10 a piece on Whatnot. I did see a misprint secret go for $20. I think Gamer's Choice had them listed at $40, which was a pretty good deal by that guy. And I also ended up picking up a few of the secret misprints myself, like this little guy, the Bonfire secret, and the Red Eye secret. So I have a few. I think I have 15 here. But yeah, I was not willing to spend over $20 on the Spirit of Yubel's secret misprint, especially when I don't play the deck. But these are like 3.5s, and there's plenty of supply here available. There's 2 sellers here with 9 copies at the $3.5 range. So if you guys need a playset of this, it's gonna cost you a little more than $10. It's not the end of the world. Yubel quarter centuries kind of mirror the honest quarter centuries, where people are paying $5-6 a piece for these, whereas over here on the TCG player side, they're less than $2, and there's several copies available here under that $2 threshold. Again, just a difference in consumer base, which is crazy to me. These Maze of Millennia Rescue Ace Hydrants, the super rares, have seen a significant buyout. Listings have replenished on these though. I was selling these at like $10 to $14 here over the weekend. But they're back down to about the $6 range. So glad I got rid of a few of those at least. I think I still have a couple left, but yeah, the Ultras too, I think, saw kind of a similar thing, whereas the CR is going to be way up. The Ultras, yep, we had a pretty big increase. Ultras are sitting about $15-16, which is insanity to me. I don't know exactly why these Rescue Ace cards are spiking, except for not receiving a tin reprint, while a ton of the rest of the core got a rarity bump to the ultra rare. That's really all I can think it being. Promethean Princess has also spiked up pretty significantly. These are sitting around the $20 mark again. However, we did see sales. Let's go back here a few days. I think all the way up to like, $55. Who the hell spent $55 on this? It's getting reprinted next month, by the way. But yeah, several people bought in at the $30. Oh my god, another $55 sale. Jesus. Tons of sales here at the 35s, 40s. Just, we saw this card go absolutely insane, and it did not make sense at all to me. Because this is one of the confirmed cards for Bonanza, which comes out, next month, November. So far, the list of confirmed cards has expanded a little bit. We found out we're getting the House Dragon Maid alt art, finally. Along with, Promethean Princess, Super Poly, and what was the other one? Diabell Star. Those were the 3 originally confirmed, and we finally got our first 3 cards for the Nostalgia Pool, including Dark Paladin, Flame Wingman, and what was the third one? Let me actually check. Flame Wingman, Dark Paladin. Why can't I think of the third one? Oh, Drill Warrior. That's what it was. Good old Edison card. So I may do a video on like a predicted Nostalgia Pool reprints, but 200 cards, man, that it seems excessive to me. Quem from the Tins is sitting about the $15 mark. These are kind of low on listings. However, there's 22 light plays here. I thought somebody had a big wall of near mints. Yeah, 64 here, 106. These are all at the $18 range. These were like $10, and they've gone up, you know, they're at 150% of what they were selling at last week. Again, all the tin singles just keep climbing, because nobody wants to gamble on the sealed. When there's 100 secrets, you get 3 per tin, which means you get 36 per case of tins. You're not even likely to see one of each secret in 3 cases. It's just ridiculous to me. I've been saying this since the very beginning, since we got the tins announced, that the 400 card set size was absolutely ridiculous, and I stand by those words. Speaking of the Dragon Maid stuff, so we did get announced that new support will be coming out for Dragon Maids, Punk, and Orchest, I think were the 3, in one of the upcoming OCG sets. So these have gone. All of these secrets, and even the gold rares, have started to disappear. Laundry supers are up to like 12 plus, which is crazy. These were on the uprising for paleo, I think. Some weird paleo stuff. But yeah, these are 11, 12, up to $15 for super rares. And what was this other one? Kitchen I saw go pretty insane too. Yeah, kitchen secrets are 25 plus. Absolutely insane. You can see when the support got announced. Wonder. Speaking of the Orchest stuff, these OTS ultis for Ding and Galatea are kinda disappearing, but the big one is a quarter century Harp Horror. This guy has just continued to climb and climb and climb. These were as low as $25, and I think they might have been even lower at one point. Looks about 25 was around the lowest. However, now if you want quarter century harp, you're paying 70 plus. Just insane to me. This is at 3 now, I think. If I remember the last ban list, I think they put him back to 3. But just insane that this card's this expensive. Everything else on the Orchest side here is kind of sitting pretty good. If you guys want quarter century Dingirasus, they're like $6. Very reasonable, in my opinion. And then everything else here is very, very cheap, into the penny stonks. So if you guys want to take a gamble on if the Orchest support is going to be good or not, it wouldn't cost you a ton to pick up a playset of all this. And for the Punk stuff, I don't know what they could really give this, honestly. So most of the time you see Punk as a supplement to Gold Pride, essentially. Punk used to be a bigger engine, but now it's really kind of died off, same as the Adventure engine. I really hope we do get some more Adventure engine support, because I really do like that engine, given that I am a Plunder Patrol player. Foxy Tune secrets from BLMR are still sitting about $3. Those could easily go up to 5s and beyond. Ogres are sitting 50 cents. The Ogres, I remember a time that the Ultras were like $8 to $12. They spiked up pretty significantly. So keep an eye on these secrets. Just really important to look at. Yes, there's 133 listings, but just keep an eye out on that. The Ghost Ogre, or not Ghost Ogre, Punk Ogre. Same with Toon Kingdom. Toon Kingdom is now less than $3 a copy. You can get a playset of these for less than $10, which is half the cost that a singular copy of the rares used to cost you before this reprint. This really, to me, seems like a no-brainer still. I was saying that Toon Kingdoms at like 4 were a no-brainer. These are $2. This would not hurt you substantially at all to have like 9 or 10 of these sitting in the binder, just waiting for, you know, the supply to dry up. Because these do sell hundreds and hundreds of copies every single day since the tin's released. So just keep an eye on it, you know. Same with Lad. Lad is still sitting around the $1, $2 range. Again, another quarter century that's really nice to have. I think this and Chimera Tech were both in my prediction video for Rarity Collection 2. I was a little bit off, but they did end up getting the quarter century prints. Speaking of the Chimera Tech, I do want to check in on this because this is $1. Yeah, $1. When the Ghost from the Past 2 Ultra was selling for $1.50 to $2. Very, very, very consistently. This, again, seems like a no-brainer for me, especially when it is a choice in most decks in Edison format. Just pick up a few playsets of this, toss it in the binder, let it age like a fine wine, and you should easily be able to make this $1 back. Just insane that there's 40 copies here at the $1 mark, and then we have 400 down here from none other than Gamer's Choice at the $1.15. So these are very plentiful, but remember, tin supply does tend to dry up pretty quickly because people recognize, hey, these are needed reprints, hey, these look good, I'm gonna go pick up a set. And if we have 10,000 people doing that, the supply of 400 is gonna go away very quickly. And then as for the rest of the tin singles, so the kind of trend that we've seen is secrets, the important secrets, get bought out. Diabellstar, Chaos Angel, even Typhon's getting low on listings. The alt arts were all really low on listings for a while. Just Emblema Oath was a very consistent seller. And then the alt art DMG is shockingly the same price as the quarter century Blue Eyes. I don't think anybody really expected the quarter century DMG to be $15. It's still toward the higher end of the set, but I think more people expected this to be higher than the alt art. And I've seen these alt art secret rare misprints, not the prismatic as it was supposed to be printed, sell for upwards of $80 to $120. So keep an eye on your secrets from this tin, because these secret rare misprints are all over. And people will pay a premium for some of them. Like these alt arts. These do not come in any other rarity. Chaos Angel does not have a secret rare. Same with Typhon. Typhon does not have a regular secret rare. Same with Dissipator. Same with King Sark. You know, people will pay a premium to have matching rarity for the rest of their deck. Imseti, I'm glad to see the listings replenish on that. I picked up a Spanish copy for $9 because I just didn't want to pay the 25 plus that it was going for just to pick up my third copy. So I'll be running one random Spanish if I decide to play the engine. But yeah, that's really all we have for today. I wanted to record a little video for you guys since it's been, a week and a half. I would appreciate if you guys go down to the link tree or click the Whatnot link in my description. We're going to be doing a pretty big Whatnot grind here over the next couple weeks. I think we're 148 sales away from reaching the 1K sales threshold. And for those of you who don't know why 1K sales is a big thing, it unlocks a feature on your account for instant pay. So as soon as you print out, or as soon as you generate the label for your shipments, you get your funds clear immediately and you get to use those. So that's something I want to have done by Bonanza, just so I can unlock more purchasing potential for inventory. So that's something to look out for. I have a big ol' binder down there of stuff that we've been flipping through. As of right now, my big end, I have 2 SPs and 2 engravers. I think those are listed on my Whatnot marketplace too, so if you guys are interested, you guys can just go over to my Whatnot profile and find those listings there. What else do we have? I don't think there's too much. I do want to get the series out here soon for new sellers to Whatnot and TCG Player. I think that's going to be good long-term content for the channel. And then I also want to do my Bonanza predictions, and I don't know if I'll do Nostalgia Pool, like a full 200 plus card expectations video, but we might. Things have been a little crazy over the last couple weeks. We had a scare with Grandma, thinking maybe she had cancer, but her tests ended up coming back pretty good, so that was pretty relieving. Yeah, I think it was mono that she ended up having. So mono, and she's like severely deficient on a bunch of vitamins, so that's why we took a little bit of time away. Had some other things to worry about, so we're gonna wrap this video up. Look forward to some more content here in the future. Yeah. Appreciate you guys hanging out. As always, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully sooner than a week and a half.